train for Thanksgiving dinner and a fun weekend. And that was the plan.
But the fun turned tragic when 11-year-old Oakley, one of the Debs twins who suffered from asthma and a mild nut allergy, ate a piece of pound cake covered in what he thought was chocolate.
There was extract along with roasted walnuts on top of it, which looked like chocolate.
We took our usual precaution. We gave him Benadryl. We're looking at an hour and a half to 2 hours later that he came up and said his stomach hurt.
I went to sleep. My Uncle Mac woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, we need to go now. And I said, where? He goes, to the hospital.
That night, Oakley vomited and his parents called 911. The ambulance arrived, but Oakley had gone into anaphylactic shock. His airways suddenly closed and his heart tragically stopped.
It feels like half of our life is gone.
He was the best kid a parent could ask for, and I keep struggling with the fact that his life was taken so soon.
I just was like crying because I knew that he was gone, and that was just not. It was the worst day ever.
I realized in my heart of hearts, my son was put here for a reason. He always was spreading his big smile and his athletic ability. His friends were all very important to him. And this is the way I can pay back the loss of my son, is to teach other people not to be in my shoes.
Just days after their loss, it was Oakley's bright shoes that inspired the Debs to start the Red Sneaker movement.
We need to figure this out and use my son as a way to help promote awareness. We don't know the difference between anaphylactic shock and allergic reaction, and that's unacceptable.
Their hope is to save lives and educate others about nut allergies and the use of EpiPens.
Oakley always wanted to do good, and I think he's looking down. And every time I start feeling sad, I think about how this Red Sneaker movement is going to change and help other families.
Boy, that family is so strong. The Debs family has already received a note from a family in the UK thanking the Debs for sharing the story about Oakley, which helped save the life of one of their own 11-year-old children. And in honor of Oakley, the Miami Dolphins will wear red shoes at this weekend's game.
Here to talk about serious food allergies and how serious they are, and to show you how to use those EpiPens is NBC News medical contributor Dr. John Torres.
Wow, I mean, you hear about nut allergies and you know that they can be tragic, but you cannot drive this point home hard enough, can you?
Exactly, you can't drive it home hard enough. And sometimes people will say, well, there's a child in a class with nut allergies. Why do I have to worry about sending brownies with nuts if that child doesn't eat it?
Right.
Airplanes might not serve nuts anymore, and people get concerned about that or worried about that because they want to have those nuts. But even nut dust, even the dust of nuts or just traces of it in food, the smell of it can cause people to have these anaphylactic reactions. And in this case, what happened, which a lot of people don't realize, you can have a delayed anaphylactic reaction, and that can happen 15 hours later, where they seem fine, things are going great, and then all of a sudden they start deteriorating. And when they start deteriorating, that happens very, very quickly.
The true tragedy of this is these are wonderful parents who would have had an EpiPen and they'd known that the allergy he had was serious. Years before, he had a mild swelling in his mouth and stuff, and they'd given him Benadryl.
It was fine.
And it was fine. So, of course, they would think that Benadryl would help the next time.
So how do you know when to use an EpiPen?
And that's the big confusion for a lot of people, and that's why I'm glad we're talking about this, and why I'm glad the family's talking about it, because you need to start using the EpiPen if they've had a reaction before. Usually those reactions end up getting worse and worse as time goes on. And so they have this mild, next one moderate, the third one could be severe. So you have to be aware of that.
I didn't know that.
If you start getting especially anything around the mouth or the lips or the tongue or the throat, that's very, very worrisome. That's when you want to talk to your doctor about carrying an EpiPen.
Can you show us, because people do have an EpiPen and sometimes other parents are in charge of other kids.
Yeah, when they go for sleepovers or
Exactly.
Okay, so here they are.
Right, and there's two different kinds. There's the adult EpiPen, which is the yellow one, the green one's for the child.
Okay.
The child is from 33 to 66 pounds, so it's a little bigger than the baby we're demonstrating on here.
Okay, so the green one, how do you do it?
But basically what you do is you pop the top, so you take it out of the top. And when you look at it, the saying they have, there's a blue cap and an orange cap.
Yeah.
The blue cap goes up, you take that off to arm it, and then the orange cap is ready to go. That's where the needle is. Blue to the sky, orange to the thigh.
Blue to the sky.
Is the
Blue
same
to the
thing.
thigh, orange to the thigh.
Show us how you
I'll show you
It's
the
not in the arm, it's in the thigh.
In the
muscle.
thigh. You want to do the big muscle of the thigh. So you take off the blue cap, and then once you take off the blue cap, with children, they just came out with a warning. They want you to hold the child's leg still. Because it's the needle. It's going to hurt. So put it in, basically what you do is hold it like you normally would, and then just hit the thigh with it.
How long?
And you're supposed to look the child in the face and
Talk to them and make sure that they understand what's going
How
on.
long is that? Are you holding that in?
It used to be 10 seconds. Most of the labels say 10 seconds. 3 seconds is what they just came out with a few months ago, so they've changed the time frame to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But 3 seconds is still a long time.
3. Then take it out.
Especially if they're in pain and they're wiggling.
And when you take it out, the needle's going to retract and go away.
Okay, so now what happens?
And now you want to call 911.
911.
And the confusion is always, do I call 911 before, do I call 911 after? EpiPen first, 911 second. So
Okay.
How much time is there for a child to be saved, or anybody to be saved, once they go into the shock?
seconds matter.
So that's
Seconds
what I
matter. You
mean.
want to do this right away as soon as you can. And some people try to call 911 first and then have 911 tell them what to do. Give them the
Just do
EpiPen
it.
right away.
Okay.
Right.
All right, and you can't do it wrong, right?
No, you can't do it wrong.
It's got to go in the muscle.
As long as you get
Take the blue